which is a fulfillment of Daniel 7:25. This power would think to change times and laws. Now, the laws were changed by the papacy because they took out the second commandment. They also took God's seventh-day Sabbath and gave you Sunday in honor of the venerable day of the sun. What about the times, the changing of times? Well, you can see that when the Reformation was coming out in the 1600s, they created, the beast, the harlot, the papacy, formed the Jesuit order. This order sent out two diametrically opposed eschatological ideas. And it is found in the preterist view, which was Luis del Alcázar, and the widely accepted futurist view, which was Francisco Rivera. So you see this beast power changing of the times and laws. So we've already discussed how every article, the truth was cast down. The papacy practiced and they prospered. But God said that the sanctuary will be cleansed after the 2300 years. So that is signaling you that each article God would restore. Let's take a look. You see, in the 1300s, you had the Lollards, and this was John Wycliffe, and he translated the Bible, ultimately restoring the table of showbread. You then have the 14 into the 1500s, and that was the Lutheran Church, Martin Luther, and he taught that Jesus' blood alone atones, not the buying of indulgences, ultimately restoring the altar of sacrifice. In the 1600s, you had John Smith and Roger Williams of the Baptist persuasion, and they taught baptism by immersion and not sprinkling, or the infant baptism, which restored the laver. The 1700s, you had John Wesley, the Methodist movement, and they taught that every person is an evangelist. We are to be a light. They essentially restored the 7-branch candlestick. The last movement restored the last article, and that is the Ark of the Covenant containing the 10 Commandments of God. And it was in exactly 1844. 457 to 1844 is 2300 prophetic years. You see, the Millerites restored the validity of God's 10 Commandments. So the last power in the diabolical trilogy is the dragon, and you see them fulfilled in the kings of the earth, and more specifically Satan. You see, because the last end time delusion, it will be Satan posing as Jesus. So recap the diabolical trilogy: dragon, beast, and false prophet. This end time message, this apocalyptic Elijah message, is to fear God and worship Him who created the heavens and the earth and the seas and the fountains of water. And that language from Revelation 14, the 3 angels, is found in Exodus 20 in the 4th commandment, the Sabbath. This diabolical trilogy will think that they could change the laws, and they essentially will stand in the holy place where it ought not.